So I work at Paychex Incorporated. So it's a large provider of human resources and payroll software. So we have over 700,000 clients across the United States, over 100 office locations in the United States, and we really focus our solutions on the small and medium-sized businesses in America. So our goal at Paychex is to give businesses the freedom to succeed and simplify their lives, because there's a lot of complexity involved in payroll and HR. So being able to take that off their shoulders and allow them to focus on what they got into business for is growing their business. That's been wonderful to do. And so how I go about accomplishing that, I work as a sales representative, but my role is unique in that I have a referral network that I manage. So we have a corporate partnership with KeyBank. It's a relatively large bank headquartered in Cleveland, Ohio, publicly traded, and they have 15 states that they operate in and branches within those 15 states. So I actually cover the branch locations and manage those relationships within that branch within the states of Ohio and then Indiana in 5 different markets. So that's how I get my business. I get referrals from KeyBank, and those clients that they work with, those business clients, get referred to me, and I sign them on, and I bring them on as a new client to use our services. So that's an overview of what I do. A 30,000-foot view is that I represent Paychex as a sales representative, and I do that through our corporate partnership with KeyBank. So I knew I wanted to go into something that was people-centric and something that involved technology, and sales was just a natural fit for me when I was looking at different career paths. Like I said, communication studies, you can take it in a lot of different directions. So I knew I wanted to go into the business-to-business realm of sales, where I'm selling from one business to another and helping organizations succeed. And I also knew that I wanted to get into the technology space, because that's something that I can see just continuing to grow. Obviously, it's something that's omnipresent in our lives right now, but I can just see it continuing down that road. So knew that that would be a good industry and a good focus, technology and professional sales, B2B, we'll call it, for short for business to business. And so I got into that realm through my full-time position. I had an internship when I was in college, my junior, well, we'll call it my summer of my senior year. And I got some experience in the sales field, got my feet wet with it, but really just wanted to take that and make that my full-time occupation. So before I graduated my senior year, I made sure to look out there and see all of the different companies and just do my research. I ended up finding a company called Paycom within the human capital management industry, a competitor actually of the company that I'm at now. And it's funny how that works. Once you get into one industry, there are a lot of different companies and a lot of different ways that you can take your skill sets. So I transitioned mine to a different competitor and took what I learned there. But that's how I entered into that field, just went through the normal application process, did the interview process, and got a professional experience. I will say that once you get that foot in the door, there's a lot of ways that you can expand from there. So that's really the key piece, is just get your foot in the door, get some experience, find out what you like, because you're going to learn a lot from that, especially if you don't have the opportunity to maybe do an internship. If you do, I highly recommend that you take part in an internship focused around sales or really whatever career path that you're pursuing. But that's how I got into it, and then I transferred my skill sets over to an organization that was competing with my current company, and that is Paychex, and where I'm at today. There are consistencies and underlying themes week to week and month to month. and over the years. But when you look at my typical day, it can include a lot of different things. And that's what I really enjoy about my position and my role, because I tend to be motivated by that just spontaneity and here's some different things, and that change of pace, change of scenery. And that's really what sales provides. Not all sales jobs are going to be that fast paced or fast moving and where things are changing at a daily level, but a lot are. So my typical day involves meetings. That's the number one underlying theme, is my typical day involves meetings, and those are meetings in different capacities. So one, with potential clients, what we refer to in the sales industry as prospects. So meeting with them, talking about our services, and really matching the tailored solution to their business and their organization. So that's a really fun part of my job, because I get to meet with small business owners and their staff members and team members that help them run the payroll and HR and really the people operations of their business. So meeting with them is super rewarding, just getting a glimpse into different businesses and being able to help them as a valued partner. And then meetings with my partners where I get my business from, and at KeyBank with the bankers. So having what they call as huddles, which can be any time of the day, but they get their team together in a group, and I get to lead a huddle, just give some updates, information, and just share with them what we have going on, and share some different things about the partnership. That's always fun. And then also having one-off meetings with, typically it's a branch manager, because they're more on the business side at the bank level, at the retail bank level. And so I'm having one-off meetings with them and just strategizing on how we can grow the partnership and work together and collaborate. And then also team meetings with my manager, one-on-one meetings. There's a lot of meetings in a sales role and in any sales role, but that's what my day consists of a lot. And then also there are different things where you have to be very organized and keep records and follow up. So emails, phone calls, there's a lot of different follow-ups with your meetings that you had. So if you had a potential client, it's really important to make sure that they have all the information they need. And so a lot of my day is spent around emails and just really being as communicative as possible, because that's how you're going to succeed, is reach as many people as you can in a sales position. Most satisfying aspect is when I see that thing that I've been wanting come to fruition, and when I make those goals a reality of bringing new clients on board, because that's the most rewarding part, is seeing, okay, here's what we talked about conceptually, but seeing that play out and manifest, and seeing how I can help an organization truly be successful and efficient and effective, and getting those emails or calls saying, Zane, you have been a lifesaver. Our organization is so much better off now that we've partnered with you and with Paychecks. And so that's the rewarding part of my job, is satisfied clients and those that I worked hard to bring on board, and seeing that hard work come to fruition. But also another rewarding part is just the fact that I get to every day grow personally and professionally. And that's something that I value, is that I want to help my career in any way possible. And there's so many opportunities within sales, and it's highly encouraged for you to take advantage of those. So I get to do that on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, whether it's podcasts, books, or team trainings, what have you. There's so many ways that I can grow myself. So those are two of the most rewarding. It's just the growth opportunities that I've been able to take advantage of, and then just making that sale and having that new client come on board. For somebody that would want to follow in my footsteps, there are a handful of values, traits, characteristics. A few of those would be just having that will and that determination and persistence, and that mentality that you're never satisfied, where good is never good enough and that you just want to be great. And so I have that personally, and I think that is really where I gain a lot of success from in my current position and in my sales role. But I think it's really important just to have that drive, that internal drive, because sales is yeah, there are people that can help you, support you, your manager, your team members, your organization as a whole. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to how bad do you want it, and how much do you want to see yourself succeed. So there has to be a lot of accountability. That's another characteristic. You have to hold yourself accountable, and each and every day just do the things that will make you successful, even if they're challenging. Because the great things in life are challenging, in my opinion, and you always have to take that path. But once you go through all those obstacles, overcome those challenges, it's going to be a lot more rewarding. So when you're talking rewarding, this is one of, in my opinion, the most rewarding careers out there. And then also, when you look at different characteristics, I would say just being personable and authentic. Sometimes it's easy in a sales position to sound like a robot, to sound like somebody that has been programmed by corporate to say exactly what they want to say. And it's good to be yourself, because people buy from people that they like, know, and trust. And you're not going to gain that trust from just being somebody who's just regurgitating something that you heard. And when you put your own personal spin on it, and I had to learn this in my role, but when you put that personal spin on it and you make it your own, and it's essentially like they're buying you and the company they are as well, but more so you and how you do things, your process and your follow through and your consistency and your conscientiousness, that's going to go a long way. So that's one of the characteristics, is just being authentic, being personable, definitely being sociable, because you have to be gregarious in a sales position. I spend most of my day on the phone or out meeting with clients or prospects or bank partners, you name it. I have a lot of meetings. So you have to have that mindset that I love meetings. I love getting out with people and spending time there. So that's definitely something that's going to be a big part of your role, is that you're going to be constantly interacting with people. And for some people, that's something that they love. And I know that I can speak for myself in saying that, but some people it may not be. And there's different levels to sales as well, where you can find something that maybe you're not out on the road, maybe you're behind the computer, you're doing things virtually in an inside sales role. So there's definitely ways that you can adapt that to your strong suits. But I would say those are two of the biggest ones, is the fact that you have to be sociable, gregarious, and outgoing. And then two, you have to be authentic and genuine. And then also you have to have that, at the end of the day, that drive to never settle and to always try to get better. So a few different ways. Mainly a great tool is LinkedIn, because recruiters are really focused on the sales side of an organization, because that's a crucial part of an organization, and making sure that you have a strong sales team so that you can generate revenue, so that your company can thrive. So recruiters are definitely going to be reaching out to folks on LinkedIn. And so having a profile, having a picture on LinkedIn, having a bio saying, here's what I'm looking for, here's my mission, here's what I'm hoping to accomplish, that's going to go a long way. I know it has for me. I actually found the job that I'm currently in through LinkedIn. a recruiter ended up reaching out for me, but you could always reach out to the recruiters as well, because if you go under the company and the open positions, which a lot of the time LinkedIn has those open sales positions on there at different companies, you can find who posted the job and who's in charge of the recruiting. You can send them a message through LinkedIn. Hey, I'm interested in applying. What do you think the best way to go about it would be? So LinkedIn is an extremely useful tool in sales positions and seeking out positions within the field of sales. But also company websites are very helpful, because this is tricky, because no, you're not going to go on every website, but when you get an industry that you're focused on, I would say that's a good place to start. Okay, I want to go into sales. Well, there's tons of industries and tons of jobs out there. So you want to get pretty laser focused. Okay, here's maybe one or two industries that I could see myself really loving. I like the idea behind it. I like what the mission is. And so I'm going to look into those organizations. Get on their website. That's going to be your best use of finding different opportunities, because every position is going to be posted on that website. So going through their careers page and getting involved that way, but also from a perspective of career fairs. And then also a lot of employers or a group of employers will have, or organizations even, they'll have events where they'll have recruiters and different companies at that event. So finding those events, I know the Cincinnati area, and with Northern Kentucky being so close to that, there are a lot of things. I can remember myself going to one at Great American Insurance. Cincinnati and Northern Kentucky is an awesome area for companies and opportunities from a job level and job perspective. So getting out there would be my best advice. So conferences, events, LinkedIn, absolutely LinkedIn. Make yourself discoverable, polish that profile, and put your experiences on there so people can find you. Turn on your job preferences, and then also making sure that you're getting kind of laser focused on what industries might be most impactful, so that you can get on their websites and see what's out there.